With all the headlines, you may find your children may ask you about this horrific event. And what can you tell them to ease their fears after hearing about all this?
Psychiatrist Henry Paul joins us live now to talk more on this. Dr. Paul, both David and I have children, and I don't know about you, but before I sent my daughter off to camp this morning, we had not even turned on the TV yet. So a lot of families, you know, they're getting their kids from camp or other places today, and they're coming home, possibly watching the news and wanting to talk to their kids about this.
You know,
what should they say?
One of the things about this tragedy is that it could really happen to any of us. This goes right to our core, a movie theater. Some guy coming into a movie theater, and we're kind of helpless victims. Yeah. The biggest thing I can say about children, how to treat them, is one, to limit their exposure to this. The greatest trauma after 9/11 was that children, especially little kids, under 5 and even 6, 7, 8, saw the planes going to the building over and over again and couldn't differentiate the fact that it was really only down there with a couple of planes. They thought it was going on all day. So we have to, number one, limit the exposure. It's going to be a carnival on television. It's going to be continuous exposure. So if I can say anything, cut the exposure. Now, when they do see it, they're going to ask questions. Right. How we answer those questions has to be in a way that's not too detailed, not too gory, and what we call developmentally appropriate. In other words, you don't go to a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and start going into the details of shooters and what a psychopath is. You have to shield these children and give them a feeling of safety.
Be very vague.
Be as vague as developmentally appropriate. Of course, with teenagers, that won't be too easy. The routines in the house should be the same. You should emphasize safety, that this is really a one-shot deal. There's very few copycats that occurred routinely with this, that it happened far away, it's not happening in their movie theater. And as important, some children get stress reactions after these things, and it doesn't always happen immediately. Some it happens immediately, they get panicky. Others it happens a few days later. Disturbances in behavior, appetite, sleeping.
And follow the normal routine. I know parents with teenagers who just love to go to the midnight showing, and they want to go to the midnight showing tonight. Should those parents still let them go?
Yes, I think nothing should be interfered with. I think that creates anxiety. You know, anxiety is one of the most contagious feelings in the world. If we're anxious and panicky, so are our children going to be. So we have to stay anxious and be realistic about this and rational about it.
We have to set the example.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Paul, thank you.
We've been telling you, security's being